She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another episode of Never Date Just One Sis. We are now on episode 27. It has been a long learning journey, and we're going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling because I'm presented with different questions, different scenarios, things that viewers are bringing to me. They want to get my feel on it as a certified coach, where I'm going with it. So I'm going to be able to do that. If this is your first time here, I am Coach Erica, Arthur China T. Make sure you head on over to my website by clicking the link below. Go ahead and grab your copy of Never Date Just One Sis. Also, make sure you follow me on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. Join the Facebook group on Facebook, Never Date Just One Sis. You can also follow me on Facebook as well, Arthur China T, Coach Erica, same name, same brand, all over. Make sure that you watch all the other videos instead of just finding the ones that speak to you. You need to watch all of them because some of y'all are still missing pivotal lessons inside of these videos, and you're taking your own understanding and you're applying it, and you're not getting the results that you thought you were going to get, or you're going another way with this. Never Date Just One is never about just one man. So if you're still on one man, you're definitely going about it the wrong way. Options for you is what's going to get you to make him your one. But if you make him your one and you have no options and he knows he's your only option, then he's going to tell you things that are going to make you feel like you have won a prize just for you to get the same results as you did before. You're just going to get them quicker and pick up speed. Y'all know my motto. You know what I'm saying? Stop rushing, picking up speed to get to nowhere. So, yeah, make sure you go ahead, view all of these videos, and, let's get into it. Before I get into the topic, I want to tell y'all an honest to God true story. It's a true story. I know all parties involved. It is a true to the T story. I wish the person who the story is about could be here and corroborate this story. Unfortunately, me and her are no longer friends. Sometimes, you got to understand in life, you will outgrow people. They will serve their purpose for that time. But they are not to be taken with you through any more journeys, anything like that. So you have to get what you're supposed to get from people and leave them there. Remember, I told you about expiration dates. Some people expire from your life. And every person that you've ever called friend does not mean they're going to be a lifelong friend. They just could be the friend for the time being. You had to get something from them. They had to get something from you. Y'all serve y'all purpose, and now it's time to move around that, okay? So kudos and shout outs to her if she ever comes across this video. If somebody sees this video and go tell her that sounds like she's talking about you, I am. So shout out to her. So let me go ahead and give you the background. I met her when she was 18 years old. And I was 28 at the time. So y'all like, damn, that's a big age gap. It is for some friendships. But we happened to have a family link at the time that made us become friends. And she was a lot more, at that time, mature-wise than a regular 18-year-old. But plus, me being 28, it was almost like, as a little sister, I get to pull her in and really show her things how it's supposed to go. So that was, like I said, I told you, it's serving purposes for the time that people are in my lives. And the purpose for that was exactly where we ended up being, and that's just what it is. I was also able to give her life lessons that was able to be able to show her exactly where she needed to go so she could be able to find herself. So when she was about 27 years old, so a lot of time had passed by since I met her versus this time I'm going to tell you about. And when she was turning 20 for her 28th birthday, she wanted to go on a cruise for her birthday because she had never been on a cruise before. So she went on a cruise, and she took, some of her family members with her, a couple of her homegirls that went on this cruise. When she went on this cruise, she was engaged to a whole other man that lived in the city. He was an older man. And at that time, he was speaking to all of her needs because she had already had 3 children by the time she had gotten a relationship with this guy. So he came in, did what he needed to do. He was speaking to all of her needs. He didn't have any kids, so he was able to automatically have a family. That obviously was something that he liked at that time. Plus, she was younger than him because I think he was in his 40s or something like that. Big ass age gap difference. So he thought he was winning. So he went in, he showed her a lot of different things, changed her life, opened her eyes, treated her in different ways that maybe other people prior to him didn't do. And then eventually led to him proposing to her and her getting the ring. So when she went on this cruise, she was engaged. But like always, I've always had to held fast to this. Until you are actually married, you are still fair game, even when you're engaged, okay? Your options are still open. And I need y'all to understand this, because a lot of times the men will put them rings on y'all to keep y'all quiet and keep y'all still and keep y'all in place so another man doesn't have access to you. And all the while, he is still looking for his one with no plans on marrying you anytime soon. But he feels like as long as you got that ring, he got access to you. And a lot of y'all let those guys believe that. So that's why things sometimes go the way they go. Engagements end up ending. The man been slept with somebody from his past or somebody else. You can see where I'm going, because an engagement is just a way to shut you up. So I don't believe in engagements. All I believe in is marriage. Until you get me to sign that certificate that says that we are husband and wife, your engagement is just another. When we was at school, do you like me, yes or no? That's all it is, okay? That's all it is. It don't mean nothing. All right, so she went on a cruise. She was engaged. And while she was on this cruise, she met another man. Luckily, he was more closer to her age. So already got something in common, because now he's close to her age. On top of that, he had no kids. So, you know what I'm saying? He saw her, her age and her beauty, and he didn't mind the fact that she had those kids already. He still saw value in her. So they shared time on that cruise. It was like the entire time she was on that cruise, they shared time, they spent time together, they talked, they got to know each other. She did not get intimate with him on that cruise, but they did have intimate, conversations. There was some cuddling and sleeping next to each other, but it wasn't no intimacy. And so when she left this cruise, after they had this conversation, he had told her before she got off that cruise, before they parted ways, they exchanged information, and he told her that he was going to come back and he was coming to marry her. And so she was like, okay, it is what it is. Mind now, she's still engaged. And so she came home and she continued to go about her life as an engaged person to the other man, but never lost contact with the other guy. And so about, I want to say no less than 90 days later, it definitely wasn't no more than 3 months. That guy came to the city, and they went to the courthouse and they got married. That was it. So now she had not relocated nothing. This man lived across the United States. Okay. So when he told her this on a cruise boat, it literally was something that was just words through one ear out the other. She continued to talk to him, but she did not rest her life on that. It wasn't until he showed up with those actions, they went to that courthouse and they got married. Because once that piece of paper signed, that's it. So they was married. Boom. Proud of her, okay? And then I want to say 2 to 3 months after that is when she finally did the full location. She moved from Florida, went all the way across the U.S. to now move in with him for the first time as his wife, not as his girlfriend, as his wife. And then they began to start their family. And then eventually she was able to give him his first child. And here it is, 5-6 years later, they are still going strong. She does not have to work. He is a full breadwinner. It is exactly what she asked the universe for. Because I told her that was coming. But in order to be a wife, you have to move as a wife. You have to move in that manner. You have to act like a wife. And you have to manifest it. And you have to leave your options open until you are a wife. She did all of that, and that's what happened. So again, shout out to her. I am very proud of her. And again, I wish she was here so she could be able to corroborate this story as well. So that leads me to this topic, marriage. Ha! That's why I was going with this. See, marriage is serious. It is not the girlfriend, boyfriend stuff. So you do not need to be entering conversations about marriage unless the other person who will talk about marriage with you is serious about it. Because a man will tell you that he wants to marry you just to keep you waiting for him to whenever he feel like he needs to come to you. And you will be sitting there on a hope and a whim, hoping that one day he actually come and marries you. Even if he gave you an engagement ring, you still have to hope that that engagement turns to an actual marriage. So what are my thoughts on that? Please don't close your options. Men have a way with words. They know exactly how to get some of y'all women to shut up and just wait on them to do whatever it is that they want to do until they're ready. One way of that is either bringing up marriage or proposing to you. And that's what a lot of y'all get caught up in. When you hear a man say something about marriage, y'all immediately straighten up. And you start saying, oh, he said he gonna marry me. I'm finna cut off all these people and it's just finna be him. Absolutely not. That is not what we're doing in Never Date Just Once, sis. The legal status in America: single, married, divorced, widowed. It does not say single, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, marriage, divorce, widow. That is not the options. You are either single, married, divorced, or widowed. So until you are married, you are single. I know y'all love that boyfriend stuff and y'all get caught up there, say, no, that's my boyfriend. We've been together for 5 years. He knows exactly how to keep you sitting right there as a girlfriend as he continues looking for his wife, girlfriend. I told y'all the men know who they're going to marry within 6 months. So if you've been sitting there withering your fingers, twiddling away, waiting for him to marry you, you ain't her. I don't care what he told you, you ain't her. Because a man who's serious has no problem going to get that certificate. Nobody ain't got to even know y'all married, but you and him. If he's serious, that certificate will be signed, and y'all can wait on that wedding. The story I told y'all. He came to Florida. They went and got married by law, legally. He went back to where he lived. She stayed in Florida. Tied up her loose ends, and then about 60 to 90 days later, that's when she relocated to his house for the first time. This is the first time they ever lived together. They didn't know each other from a can of paint. He knew when he met her on that cruise ship, by the end of that cruise, that she was going to be his wife. He said it and he meant it, and he moved in that manner. She wanted to plan a big wedding, but why am I doing a big wedding for y'all when a man already married me? I already got the commitment. I already got the ring. I got his last name, and we already living. I really don't even need a wedding, because a wedding would be appeasing to the public when, baby, I'm already married. The man that wants to marry you will never tell you to wait. He will go with you to get married. Case in point, I just had somebody today. We was on the phone talking, because I told you about those initial conversations. You got to see what people head at. That came up already in the initial conversation. It's come. It was something along the lines of somebody's wife. I said, hold on now. Because when you say stuff like that, see, I'm serious about marriage. That's not a game to me. So when you say anything about a title of wife, we need to move in that direction, because all it takes is for us to go right on down to the courthouse to get that paper signed. Guess what? Don't nobody got to be married but me and you. You ain't even got to move in yet. And a lot of y'all don't know. You will save yourself some time if you don't move in with him right away. So y'all be wanting to cohabitate. That's what y'all want to do, to cohabitate and have unprotected sex. That's what y'all think that marriage is. Marriage is if we get married on paper and you over there and I'm over here, that's fine. If it take us a whole year to move in, I'm cool with that too. You know why? Because in the event that this doesn't work out and you never move in with me, I get to go get this marriage annulled. What does that mean? What that means is an annulment is just like a parting. It strikes that marriage from the record like it never happened, never existed. I would prefer you to get an annulment than you to sit there and let years go by and you realize that this ain't gonna work after you finish playing a facade, and now you got to go through a divorce. A lot of y'all credit began torn down in these divorces. A lot of y'all got to start paying alimony to your husbands, because at the end of the day, you made more than him on paper. That would have been me. That's why I told y'all, when I saw that the marriage wasn't serving purpose, I had to go start the process of annulment. The only reason why I could not go through is because we had lived together. And I wish I had not made that mistake, because it didn't take long for me to realize that this marriage was not going to be serving a purpose that I thought it was going to be. So had we never moved in, I would have been able to strike it from the record. But because we cohabitated, I had to go through the full proceeding of the divorce. And honestly, on paper at that time, I did make more than him. So I had to do what I had to do to show that I made less, because I was never going to pay him alimony. I did not want to end up paying this man alimony, because I would have been responsible for alimony for him in this divorce. That's what happens when you divorce. When you annul, you don't have that. So, don't let a man tell you anything or bring up anything about marriage unless he's ready to go to that courthouse and get that paper signed today, tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Nobody has to know y'all married but you and him. See, y'all want big weddings and stuff because y'all want to marry the public. I don't need that. When my ex-husband did tell me he wanted to marry me, that was in September. October, we was in Vegas getting married. The whole shebang. The chapel, the priest, the white dress, and the white suit. Yeah, I went and did it in Vegas because since you said we're getting married, we making plans. Because I don't need to appease to the public. You said you're going to marry me, we're going to get married. On paper. That's what I need. Okay? Because don't tell me we getting married and think you're going to hold on to me. And he wanted me to cancel everything off my roster. Only way I was going to do that is going to get married the next month. And I did. And once I got married, I still did not cancel that roster until 2 months after that. And that's when I started knocking everybody down because they did not know I got married. They were still trying. I had to let them know, hey, babe, I'm married now. I told you when I met you that my goal was to become a wife. I'm a wife now. One of the guys said, damn, man, I should have married you when I had the chance. You're right. Everybody knows it. You're right, but you didn't. And somebody else beat you to it. So I'm going to cut the contact here because I don't want to talk to any other men while I'm married. But you see where I'm going with this? Because you're not going to hold on to me with an engagement and you're not going to tell me no words. Marriage is serious business, baby. So when you're talking about exchanging names and vows and all that stuff, I'm not waiting till you want to do that. We finna go, if you tell me we getting married, we going to the courthouse. We going to get the certificate to show that we married. We could do that big stuff later. Because your words ain't going to do nothing to me because I'm going to be single until I'm married. I am going to be single on a roster until I'm married. Because I'm never letting go of my options just because you told me this. That's what y'all be doing. Long distance. Let's add that in. So let me tell you. I know a lot of y'all saying, well, how do you deal with a man that's long distance? How do you add him? How you deal with him on a roster? And how you deal with him, period? First and foremost, I don't do long distance. And the reason why is because I have a requirement for dates on a consistent basis. Long distance will not allow me to do that. What you will find me doing on long distance is a whole lot of talking on the phone, a whole lot of texting. Remember I told y'all to stop talking and texting? Because that's how the men put y'all into those conversations where y'all exposing too much about yourself. And now you done caught feelings because you think he told you the truth. Now all your feelings based on conversation. He ain't took you on a series of dates. You don't know what he can do for you financially. You don't know who this man is. You just been talking and talking to y'all long distance. You catching feelings. You can't wait till y'all get together. And then when y'all get together, it falls flat because this ain't even the same man in person that it was on the phone. I am very much against long distance. However, if you have it to put the effort into it, go ahead. Still do not exercise or drop your local options. You can have 1,000 dudes that live out of town. You need to have just as many that's local. Why? Because you do not know how that's going to go. You do not know what that man doing every day. You do not know who that man meeting every day. He can meet his wife while y'all talking, then boom, before you know it, him and that person together and you cut off. It has happened. I have been her. It was a guy that I met long distance. I met while I was out going to visit my sister in Atlanta. Long story short, he had a lady who he was dealing with. She was long distance. But because he had local access to me, he began spending all of his time with me. All of his time. And then because I was closer to him from Florida to Georgia, he began coming to Florida, spending all his time. We had all type of stuff. Within the first 3 months, baby, we was all over the place. And that lady long distance, I remember her calling and blowing up his phone. See how she was losing? She thought they was going somewhere. But see, you don't know who that man is meeting when you're not there. That's why you can't exercise your options. That lady would blow his phone up to death. And he had done this when I asked him, what's going on here? Because the only reason why a woman would be blowing you up like this is if she think y'all together. And that's when he was like, well, yeah. He gave me the background on it. I'm just like, okay, man, the best woman win. But I ain't step on no toes. I ain't even know she existed. See how single he was acting? I ain't even know she existed. But at the end of it all, he had options. So when I was no longer, when me and him stopped talking, because I get bored with long distance, y'all. I got bored with the long distance stuff because I be needing the physical presence and I be needing to go on dates and stuff. I can do the long distance for a little while, but after a while it gets boring to me. So once me and him amicably stopped talking, because I can still call him right now. We still cool. It ain't going bad terms. I don't end nothing on bad terms, y'all. As I don't never know when I'm gonna need somebody. But me and him stopped dealing with each other. he instantly picked back up with her. See, he was her only option. That's why it was easy for him to slide back on. You think I'm gonna let somebody slide back my way that has been ignoring me for months for somebody else? I'm gonna just, when they call me, when that person gone, they gonna slide back in. When y'all don't have no other options, that's what happened. That lady was blowing his phone up, calling him all type of names in a text message, just going off of him. Why? When that long distance man is your only option, you two are gonna be having the same behavior because you don't believe everything he told you. He told you y'all gonna get married, you holding on to it. He told you when he moved back to your town, you holding on to it. Stop right there, ma'am. Sis, you getting too far ahead of yourself. You don't know this man for you to be promising him anything long distance. So right now, your needs are unmet. All you getting is words, 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 words. You ain't got an action yet. If a man is long distance and he mentioned marriage, challenge him. Say, you know what, baby? That's a good idea. I'm going to come where you at. I'm talking about clothes. I'm talking about offer. I'm going to come where you at. I'm going to get a plane. I'm going to get a flight to where you at. We're going to go down to your courthouse in the area that you live in. We're going to go get married. And look for his reaction. Well, no. Let's just go ahead and wait. That man ain't trying to marry you, baby. If he was that serious about that, when you recommend, let's go to the courthouse and just go ahead and do it. We can do the big wedding later. Don't nobody even got to know we married. You ain't even got to move here yet, but I can wait. But we got to be married. Since you brought it up, I want to see how serious you is. If you get nothing but flack after that, then he just told you fluff to hold on to you. And that's why I told you, never let go of your options, baby. Never let go of your options. You still need your roster. Marriage, I will marry you. When I move back, I will marry you. That is nothing but words. Where is the action? Get the action, not the ring. You can be married without a ring. You can get rings from Amazon. Those are symbols. That means nothing. Where is the action? Don't allow a man to hold you as a girlfriend or a fiance just because y'all gonna get married. Go and get your certificate right now, because if he's serious, then y'all can just be married on paper and nobody else got to know it. Y'all ain't even got to live together yet. You can still live in your same separate place. I know y'all finna say, what? How does that work? Well, that's because y'all be wanting to get straight to sex with no condoms. That's y'all mind goes straight there. My mind don't go there, baby. When that man today said marriage, I said to the courthouse and I had told him how much the rent was. He had said, oh yeah, I can cover that for the month. Yeah, my check got there. I had said, it's a warm place for you in this bed. You hear what I'm talking about? I put my need out there. He brought up marriage. We going a different way with this conversation, sir. Yeah, with that. Nah. If you probably thought, nah. When it comes to China, when you talk about marriage, that's serious business to me. That means that sounds like I don't have to pay these bills no more. So since you brought it up, let me go ahead and tell you how much this rent is. And what did he say? Oh yeah, I made this much money. I got that. Cool. Now we going somewhere. Now I feel like I can continue to have these conversations because I'm going to see how serious he is about this. Now I wasn't going to invite him to come over here and don't mention the rent. What? No, that would be me still signing up to do it by myself. Absolutely not. I told him how much the rent was. He said he made that per month. I said, there's a warm place for you in this bed when you make it per month. Needs will be met. Rent won't be paid by me. Needs will be met. You talk about marriage? I had said, hold on. We can go right on down there courthouse. Did he deny that? He said, nope. He said, I like that. Let me just go ahead and see. Let me just see some things. He said, you like to never date just one. See how he caught on to? Because he know you an option, baby. If you don't do it, somebody else will. When they know that they are not the only one, I guarantee they act a little different. When they know they're the only one, they'll drag you forever long they need to because you ain't got no options. I exercise my right to have options all the time. I tell people all the time, I don't know anything about a girlfriend. I can't even be your fiance. You want to marry me? We're getting married today. It costs less than $100 to get that certificate. That's that. You don't even have to move in yet. I can wait. If you need to wait, we can wait. But don't bring up marriage to me and think I'm finna wait on that. Don't be long distance and think I'm finna wait on you. I don't know who I'm gonna meet tomorrow. So while you told me, because you live 300 miles away, and you said when you move back to where I live at, we're gonna get married, Tomorrow I meet somebody who's ready to get married. I'm not denying him because you told me that. No, I'm finna go with him because if his actions are louder than yours, then you just lost to the next man. May the best man win, not the only man. Not the only man. May the best man win, not the only man. So the only man will make you feel like you are the only girl, and he will still be out there exercising his right to have more options. Why? Because you don't live near him. You don't know what he do every day. You don't know who he meeting. You don't know his conversation. You don't know any of those things. Even in marriage, you still don't know. But before you drag me on a long distance and a marriage dream, I'm coming to where you live at. We going to the courthouse where you live at. We getting married. Then I'm coming back home. And when it's time for us to come together to live, then we will do that. It could be done. I told you the girl did it. She met him on a cruise, 4 or 5 day cruise, and it wasn't even more than 4 to 5 days. At the end of that cruise, he told her what he was going to do. 90 days later, it happened. It can be done. Men know who they're going to marry within 6 months of meeting them. It does not take them long. So do not let a man that lives local or long distance bring up anything about marriage who not moving into that action. Because let's go to this courthouse, sir. If you that serious about making me an honest woman, only men you got to know we married. You can return back to your life. I'm going to return back to mine. And when we come together, live together, it's going to be when it's time for us to do that. Because in the event that me being married or us being married and we don't live together again, I can annul this and don't nobody even never know we was married. But y'all be wanting everybody to know y'all married. Y'all can't wait to tell the world. And in you having to prove to the world that you got married, y'all be in long engagements. And then when it's time to get to that altar, he got cold feet, he dropped the ball, or some other things happen, y'all never get there. You next time I know, you're the type of woman who's been proposed to 800 times, but they never got to the altar. Baby, keep your proposal. If it's got to be longer than a month, you can keep it. Because if you tell me you're going to marry me, you're gonna take me right there, you're going to do it right now. Or we're not going to do it at all. Because if you thought that was going to make you to be the only one, I let everybody know from the beginning. I roster date until marriage. I roster date until marriage. When you see value in me to marry me, then I will start roster dating. But if you never do, guess what? Somebody else will. What you won't do, the next man will. And I'm not cutting off no men just because you said, you better do. You better do. If you want to move me in that way, you better do. So, ladies, the marriage conversation needs to go to the courthouse if it's serious. All of this about a hope and the women to pray, when I get there, all these, we don't need to make plans. I will come to you to go to your courthouse so we can do that. What you ain't going to do is hold on to me with words and telling me when you come back, when you move back this way. What if you never move back? What if you just telling me that right now, 6 months, 9 months passed, a year passed by, and you still ain't made no plans to move back? But I've been sitting here hoping and praying on a wish that you're going to come marry me, and you just told me anything for you to just be able to come get my sex whenever you come in town. Because they'll do that. You know, they have already figured out you have no options because you made them number one. You take every one of their phone calls, you answer every one of their texts. You always deaf for them. They know you don't have no more options. So they know that you'll wait on them. Me? Let me just see a couple things, because you know you never date just one. I need to hear that. I need you to hear from that man for him to know that he's not my only option, baby. You will never be the only option until I am your wife. Somebody gonna say, well, that's frowned upon. Is it? Because what I'm frowning upon is the fact that y'all keep letting people propose to y'all and y'all don't even get to the altar. For however long it takes. I know some people who've been fiancés for 2 years. I don't even know how that goes. I don't even know how that goes. Saving up for a marriage. For what? I don't need to save up for a wedding. I can do that at the courthouse. That's less than $100. If we're going to save up for anything, we're going to save up for a vacation. If you want to save, well, you can save up to buy your house, sir, because I don't buy houses. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I don't buy houses. What I look like using my credit and my money to buy a house. I know a lot of y'all want to do that. Go ahead with that masculine behavior. I don't care what somebody told you. I was never buying a house. I'm not dying with that debt. But I'm going to let that man do it if he wants to. I'm going to even encourage him to do it and help him right there. Be right there to help him, rubbing his back as he's signing the papers. Because I'm going to move it with him. If it don't work out, I'm just getting my stuff and going back to a rental. I'm too fluid. Yeah, I don't got to stay here. When it didn't work out with my ex-husband, we was in a rental. By God, I would have had it. We would have bought a house. I would have been indebted to that house, and then we wouldn't even stay married. Then that would have been on my credit. And guess what? Who would have had to work hard to pay that off? Me by myself, because he would have went back to his mom. No, ma'am. No, I'm too logical for that. I can see the play before the play even happened. The answer was no. So I was never rushing to buy a house. As long as they got things that you can rent, I'm going to rent. And I'll let the landlord deal with those fixtures. I'm a woman. I'm not taking on no responsibility. That's what men do. That's what they did a long time ago. Men bought the houses and they brought their wives in. And so at the end of those marriages, when it didn't go that way, guess who got the house? The wife, yeah, who put in no work. Now she has somewhere to live for the rest of her life. It's her house then. So that's where I'm going with this. Pass me on the house through divorce if that's what you want to do. But I'm not helping you buy it, babe. That's my money, my credit. I use it where I want to, and I don't use it there. And I don't encourage you, but go ahead. Go ahead and show off to the world that I can buy a house. Go ahead, baby. I'm not telling you not to. It's nothing that I'm going to do. I'm going to show off me going to these vacations, though. I know y'all seen the crew. I'm going to do that. But I'm not committing to buying a house or a house note or no. This is, I'm not entering that masculine space. How dare I buy a house and then I marry somebody and he got to move in with me in this house. You talking about this house that I bought on my hard work and my hard earned cash and my good credit. He just gets to move in off this. And we maybe in a few years we could buy a new one and both of us can do it together. No, man, I don't operate in that manner. I'm sorry. I'm not asking y'all to change how y'all operate, and I'm not talking down on y'all. If y'all already bought a house, if y'all already moved that way, kudos to you, ma'am. That's nothing that I aspire to do, because I literally sit in my feminine energy. I'm not gonna do that. And to me, that's not a feminine thing. That's just to me though. So I don't care who disagrees. Buying a house is not feminine for me at all. That's what men do. So I'm going to move into a house that a man bought, or I'm going to rent one. So the moral here is, the point, words do nothing but piss you off when there are no actions. So don't get pissed off, get the action. Damn the words. The action should come. If the action never came, you played yourself. He didn't play you. He didn't waste your time. You did. The same way my husband dragged me for 5 years, making me think he wanted a child. He never wanted a child. I should have never let that time pass by. Giving away my childbearing years, waiting for him to want to have a child with me, when at the end of it all, he said he did not want any more children. And where was I? I had to listen to his words for so long, thinking that it was going to happen, and I got nothing. And my fertility was wasted, the time that I had that could have got me a very healthy pregnancy. So where am I now? Actions do nothing for me. Words do nothing for me. You're going to have to move into that way. And if you're not, well, you know, it is. I don't lose. I'm just going to move around you. No, I don't lose at all. I just move around you. And I will never listen to nothing you got to say again. Words get y'all in a bunch too much. I told y'all do too much texting and talking, and y'all do a lot of listening. And for some reason, the listening is so much deeper than what is being said to you. And you're not hearing the right messages. I don't want to hope in a woman if you move back to town, if you get married. Honey, I can come to where you are right now and I can marry you now. And we can worry about when you move back and move in at that time when you're ready. You ain't going to hold on to me with a marriage thought, a marriage wish, a marriage hope. I'm going to exercise my options to have a roster. And when you marry me, I will drop my roster. That's it. So get your copy of Never Date Just Once, sis. Again, if you have any questions or anything that you want me to bring to the perspective and to tie it into roster dating so you can see exactly where you need to go with this, please inbox me on Instagram. Inbox me on TikTok, on Facebook. If you need to, you can post it in the Facebook group. You can also email it to me at coachchinat@icloud.com. And I will have no problem with giving you what's real about the question that you answer me, but you will never hear me give you some BS. sis, don't waste your time on no man that say when y'all will do. Tell him you'll meet him right there, that y'all can do it right now. Call his bluff. Because if he bluffing, you gonna know. See y'all tomorrow.